How's it going, guys? Cameron here with Canadian Gamer coming at you with another video. Some interesting stuff to talk about here today. Before we get into that, just a little bit of housekeeping notes here. Obviously, we're paying our respects to Sinead O'Connor. Those of you who have not heard, she passed away at the young age of 56 years of age today. So, yeah, absolutely tragic. She was absolutely amazing. So yeah, that sucks. That really sucks big time. The next thing I want to talk about, if you guys watched my video yesterday, you may have noticed I picked up another game, Need for Speed Carbon. I was playing it for a little bit last night, but unfortunately I couldn't play it for long because the disc has a couple of scratches on it, and it's preventing the game from loading at a certain point. That's all I'm going to say about that. So, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I might seek out a loose copy on eBay because it's about $6. But I think you could get this game CIB for about $6. So I really don't know what I'm going to do. But I was having fun. That's the sad thing. That's the sad part about it. This game was taken off of the EA, the online store that EA has. So you can't even get this game anymore. So, I don't know. Should I get maybe the PS3 version? I don't know. We'll see. But what's interesting is after that happened last night, I'm like, I really want to play a game. What else could I play? And I'm staring at it. We've all had this happen to us before where you stare at, 60, 70 games in front of you and you can't decide what you want to play. So I went back to the well and I put this on. Need for Speed Most Wanted from 2005. Now, everybody talks this up, talks a big game like this is a really amazing experience. And when I initially played this a couple of years ago, I was turned off by it. I didn't think it was very good. Until last night. I actually put more time into it. I played it for about 2 hours last night. And yeah, now I understand. I understand why you guys love this game so much, okay? I love the live action cutscenes in this game. The controls are really good. And it's really fun how you have, I can't remember what it's called in the game. Is it called a blacklist? Where you have 15 guys you have to take down. And you work your way to the top guy to beat the game. Really cool stuff. So I'm having a lot of fun with it. I might go back to this tonight. Plays really good on the PS2. I know you can get this on the 360 as well. As well as the Black Edition on the OG Xbox. So yeah, cool stuff. And so yeah, let's get on with today's topic here. Let me have a sip of my house wine. So today we're going to talk about something that we have talked about on the channel before. We're going to just go a little bit more in depth on it. 2023 edition. We're going to talk about why PS3 games and 360 games to a lesser extent continue to skyrocket in the year 2023. So, hear me out on this one. So yeah, the more popular games like the Uncharted games on the PS3 as an example, you can find those all day for $5. But there are a ton of games on the PS3 that have shot up in price. I have plenty of them behind me here. Ridge Racer 7 is one of those games that comes to mind. I've never seen that game cheaper than $30. So you might say, oh, CG, that's not that expensive. Wow. It is when you're used to seeing PS3 games all day for $5, $10, and all of a sudden you're starting to see the titles you really want to get in $30, $40, $50. Well, here, let me just turn around and take a look at my my collection here. So, yeah, I've got quite a few games that aren't so cheap anymore. Test Drive Unlimited 2, I lucked out recently and I found that for $10. But if you go to like a retro store, you're going to be paying about $30 for that game, Canadian. So, I actually don't have a lot of the expensive titles on the PS3 for that reason. I'm not gonna shell out the coin for that. But I do have a lot of the heavy hitters on the 360. And one that comes to mind for me, I paid nothing for it. I paid like $5 for it. Is the Splatterhouse remake. The reason why I bring that up is because it is available on the PS3 as well. Lately, I've been seeing that game at the retro stores marked up like $70 Canadian, $80 Canadian. Absolutely insane. A lot of the survival horror games, the Silent Hill games, as an example, again on the PS3 and on the 360, have really shot up in price. The Rockstar games are pretty cheap still, but then you're seeing other games like Shadow of the Damned, Lollipop Chainsaw, Deadly Premonition is another one that's really expensive. I'm trying to think what else is expensive. Ridge Racer 6 on the Xbox 360 is pretty expensive. So, yeah, again, why is that? Well, like I said, these consoles are now considered retro, right? Let's be honest here. They came out almost 15 years, over 15 years ago at this point. And a lot of the collectors, not necessarily the gamers, the collectors are out there poaching these games. Another one I'm looking at over there is Blood Drive, which is a car combat racing game for the 360. I paid, I don't even know how much for that. Bought it in Kingston maybe 2 years ago. I paid $30 for it. You might be thinking to yourself, what's Blood Drive? Yeah, you haven't heard of it because it's not that common. It's expensive. But yeah, a lot of these speculators, it's like the comic craze in the 90s. They're hunting down all the premium Xbox 360 and PS3 titles because they know that there's a lot of gamers out there like me and you that are really hunting these games now. I jumped on the original Xbox and the Xbox 360 collecting bug before it really took off. I'm talking like I want to say maybe 8 or 9 years ago I started really collecting and really chasing after those titles. So as far as those consoles are, I don't want to talk about 6th gen, but I'm just throwing it in there. But yeah, the 360, looking at the titles I have for the 360, I wouldn't want to go out now and try to find those games again. Silent Hill Homecoming is another one. But unfortunately, I was late to the party with the PS3. So now, over the last 2 years, I'd say, I've been really getting into PS3 collecting, but I'm late to the party. It's okay. Again, if you're looking for the real common titles, right, like the Uncharted games and stuff. But if you want those heavy hitters out there, like I said, Ridge Racer 7 is one I've been looking for a couple of years now. Unfortunately, the sad reality is you're going to have to go to the boutique retro store and pony up the dollars to buy it. Or go on eBay as an example. You're not going to find these games out in the wild, not very often. So, yeah, it doesn't shock me whatsoever. Another reason why prices are going up is because we're finally seeing some decent emulation for these old consoles, the Xbox 360 and the PS3. And I imagine that might be playing a factor on it as well. I don't really understand how emulation works with PS3. I don't know if you would still need the disc or not if you're running it on your PC. Not quite sure. But yeah, definitely, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series, those games are dirt cheap right now. But yeah, 360 and PS3. And hell, I guess you could even throw in there the Wii U and the Wii. Yeah, the Wii's definitely gone up in price as well. But yeah, specifically, at least in Canada here, my experience as I go out and hunt for games, I find PS3 is more expensive than 360. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's got something to do with the Blu-ray format. No idea, but I notice PS3 games are typically more expensive. And I see Xbox 360 consoles lying around at the thrift store more often than I'll see a PS3. It's rare that I'll come across a PS3 console out in the wild. So, yeah, if you're thinking about getting into collecting 7th gen right now, I'd say you could go with either console if you're going for, like I said, the more common titles. But if you're looking for those heavy hitters, maybe you'd be better off collecting for the 360. It kind of reminds me of back in the 80s and 90s when we used to collect cards. you could either buy, for a while there, you had two companies. You had O-Pee-Chee, and then the other company made the exact same cards, but it was like of a lower cardboard quality. And it had like not as nice of a print. And I think that was Topps. I think. So that's what I think about when I look at the 360 and the PS3. You got the PS3, which is the O-Pee-Chee, the premier print run, and then you got the 360, which comes in like the cheaper case. But it's funny I say that because you hear Digital Foundry John Linneman, and he's always like, "Oh, Xbox 360, 9 times out of 10, the games always ran way better on the 360 than the PS3," and maybe that's the case. But I honestly, in my opinion, I can see a huge difference on my TV downstairs when I'm playing a PS3 game. I can see obviously the quality of the Blu-ray compared to the DVD quality on the Xbox. I see a huge difference, absolutely. Maybe not as far as frame rate is concerned. Maybe the 360's got the edge, but I don't know. It's one thing to watch Digital Foundry spout off about shit like that, but when you're sitting in front of your TV, sometimes those little things that they nitpick about aren't so apparent, right? But getting off track here. So yeah, Xbox 360 prices have never been higher, and especially PlayStation 3, PS3. If you're late to the party like I am, you're not screwed per se, but you better strike while the iron is hot, because if you wait any longer, you're going to be fucked. So that's it. Just a short video here. Just wanted to give my take on why PS3 games have skyrocketed through the roof in 2023 and Xbox 360. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on this. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for me. Thanks so much for watching. You people are wonderful and beautiful. Love you, PK. Have a good night.